Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this deck guide video, I'm going to take a look at Meati's #1 Legend Zoo Warlock deck. Zoo Warlock is doing pretty well in the meta right now. The only matchup that I really struggled with this deck was Rogue, because Rogue has been fine-tuned and it's so incredibly fast that sometimes you simply don't even have enough time to get a demon with lifesteal on the board to heal up and you just die. But other than that, it seems to be able to contest some of the slower decks, it has enough power, it's able to contest other aggressive decks, and overall just a pretty decent deck. Like all Zoo decks right now, this is based on the draw engine of the Hand of Gul'dan. So Hand of Gul'dan, when you play or discard this, draw 3 cards, and then you have Expired Merchant and you have a Nightshade Matron. Both of them discard the highest cost card you have in your hand, so then you can use these to discard the hand, and that way you get to draw a bunch of cards. With this version, because there is Flesh Giant in the deck, you have to be a little bit careful so that you don't discard your Flesh Giants. Unless you want to discard them with Expired Merchant to make more copies of them, that's sometimes possible. But usually you try to discount the Flesh Giant so that it will only cost 5 mana by the time that you discard Hand of Gul'dan. The deck has some extremely explosive openers. Because there's Kenrathard Ebonlock in the deck, your demons cost 1 less. You get that Kenrathard Prime and you can play that later for a board in a box. The board isn't that big though, because most of the demons in the deck are fairly small, but the main use of Kenrathard really is in the early game. Kenrathard makes all of your 1-cost demons cost 0, so stuff like Flaming then costs 0, stuff like Darkglare will cost 1, and then if you can do like Kenrathard, and let's say it lives, and then you get to play Darkglare into Flaming, and then Flaming pre-funds you some mana, and you can just build some pretty big boards if you get the right cards with this one. You also have some excellent tools for the mid game. With Animated Broomstick, you're able to give your other minions rush, so that you can play a bunch of smaller minions and Broomstick, and then they can rush and they can kill stuff, so you have some potential to come back. You can even give rush to your Flesh Giants. If you have discounted the Flesh Giants enough, then they can even cost 0, and then they can just come in rushing and save the day. And you can also rush in with some lifesteal, because you have Manari Moshers in the deck. Battlecry give a friendly demon +3 attack and lifesteal this turn, but that only applies to demons, so you can't lifesteal with the Flesh Giants. So you'll have to see whether you have demons available for that lifesteal effect. As for the mulligans with this deck, you're generally looking for these cards. Kenrathard, Darkglare, the Flaming Pantour Guide, usually the best 1-drops, although in Rogue matchup Voidwalker is better than they are. And you're always looking for your Hand of Gul'dan. There are only 2 copies of Hand of Gul'dan in the deck, whereas there are 2 Nightshade Matrons and 1 Expired Merchant, so you can keep Hand of Gul'dan solo, but you don't want to keep the Merchant or the Nightshade Matron unless you also have a Hand of Gul'dan. But if you have that, then you can keep those cards that synergize with it as well. You also have Cult Neophyte as a tech card in this deck. It can be used to deny some board clears, and it's also useful to prevent Druids and Rogues from snowballing too hard. So I'd consider to keep that in the mulligan against Druid and Rogue. Now, let's go take a look at this Zoo deck in action. And if you enjoyed this content, please like this video and check out my Twitch where I livestream Hearthstone. What do I need to survive this? Is that useful? I could coin one out. Oh, I could coin an Expired Merchant. Does the Rogue want to handle the Darkglare though? Maybe they do. I'll just coin the Darkglare. Let's see what happens with that. Does the Rogue want to kill it, or do they just go face? Oh, they have to make a choice. And it's one tough choice. They chose to kill that. Well, now they can draw. I'm still fine with getting a Darkglare out there, right? Yeah, I'm still fine with playing another Darkglare. Let's see if the Rogue continues to trade or if they start to go face already.
A cruel fate awaits you in the ashes.
They keep trading. So far so good. So those 2 Darkglares just healed me for a whole bunch there. And now I can do Expired Merchant, which will discard the Hand of Gul'dan. And that allows me to also play the Broomstick. And that means that I can kill this Greyheart Sage and get my Hands of Gul'dan back. Okay, so far so good. But I mean, Rogue has tons of cards there. And unfortunately more stealth minions are also on the way. Many more stealth minions are on the way. Yikes. I need a cult neophyte out there, right? I think I do. Flame into the neophyte and the Void Walker. Hi BFG aficionado. And welcome to see what we can do against a very stealthy rogue board. Now they can't weave in as many spells as they might want to, thanks to the neophyte. But it's unlikely to make that much of a difference. They can still do the poison. And everything goes to the dome. Ouch, ouch, and ouch. I'll need the can retard. But what I would really need... What I would really need would be some life steal here. Time to do the Nightshade Matron. If I get any 1-drop demons, I can play them immediately thanks to Ken Retard. I don't. Okay. I'll need to trade all of these. Alright, at least the rook doesn't have minions there. If they don't kill the 5-tree, then I will be able to give it some lifesteal and heal up. And maybe that will be enough. Maybe. Just maybe. Unless I'm dead this turn. I'm not dead this turn, but they do kill the demon. So they probably will be able to kill me next turn. Yeah. Raise Dead doesn't even help me. Well, Raise Dead could give me a Void Walker. So I will go down to 7, so if I don't get a Void Walker... and Hand of Cooldown can also give me a Void Walker. Time to Hand of Cooldown. See if I can pick up a Void Walker here. I cannot, so I'm probably dead now. Rogue should have 3 damage from hand with 2 cards. Let's make it 4 cards. Yep, and here comes the damage from hand. Well, there wasn't much I could do about that. What rook might not be strong enough to keep against Mage? A tour guide. Alright, we can do a tour guide. I'm not going to tap yet. I can tap next turn with the Dark there. Then if I pick up a 1-drop I can play it. Spell damage Mage. Okay. They have some pretty sweet board clears coming in the near future. I do believe I need the Dark Lair tap. I didn't get a useful card. Ouch. Well, probability was fairly low. There were like 6, 7 out of 25. So around 1 in 4. Wound Thief is slightly surprising, I suppose. Interesting Learn Draconic. Need to go for some more taps, I believe. Let's see what we can find. Wriggling Horror seems okay. Do I need to do the Neophyte this turn? I don't think it's needed this turn yet. I'm a little bit concerned about like arcane explosions and stuff together with spell damage minions. So I think I'm going to Wriggling Horror here. I could also get the Broomstick on the board though. Let's get the Broomstick on the board. I got the Broomstick on the board. Wriggling Horror there. Then the Broomstick will trade that away. And this with the 4 health Dark Clear gives me the best protection against things that would clear this board. And next turn is the Neophyte. No minions have died, so there's nothing in the race dead. That means we get Whispers will be played. Just with the Neophyte. Yeah, that's how it goes. I'll lose the race dead, but I'll have to accept that. I got the Neophyte on this board, so it'll make it a little bit more difficult for the Mage to do things. They can still afford a one cost spell damage minion and Arcane Explosion. But that, on the other hand, is not giving them anything. They are just dead here. Alright. That one. Having a 1-drop, have 4-drop with hand. Okay. We'll give this a try. Mage kept everything. That is not fun. That probably means the 1/3 spell damage minion here. Well, I mean, there's many types of mages that it can be. I suppose I was just thinking it's spell damage, but it could be secrets, it could be Highlander. But it's spell damage, yeah. Keeping everything kind of usually implies something else than Highlander. Highlander is never so satisfied with the hand. Or at least quite rarely. At this point they might also think that I'm Galagrant Warlock, and that misconception could prove to be valuable. Okay. The 1/1 is of course going to the face. There's no other way, no other place where it can go, really. Do I try to play the Neophyte now? I guess I do, yeah. I'll play the Neophyte and kill that. Could have been valuable later on too, but I thought I needed the tempo. I have coin Nightshade Matron, so I will have a lot of draw coming. I don't have to tap for draw. I got a bunch of draw with this. Okay. Let's see what happens next. I mean, they have spell damage minion, and they have -1 discount on the spell damage minions. So I fully expect them to be able to do things to the board.
You fight me, you get burned.
Okay, 2 of those have to hit the minions, otherwise the minions will live. 2 hit the minions. I have a Neophyte, a Spirit Jailer, and a Nightshade Matron. 7 cards in hand. There's certain value in getting the Neophyte back. But I think this has got to be a Nightshade Matron turn. That's the last hand of cooldown because I don't have any discarded. Take the trade, 8 cards in hand. Okay. So Mage still has that spell damage minion there. They haven't given up anything yet. Pretty much the only thing they can't do is play Ras right now. Okay, they actually can play Ras when it's together with that. And I have to get rid of the Ras, right? I think I have to get rid of the Ras. That will mean the lab partner lives. I just have to accept that. 3 mana. Does this work?
So much untapped power in this world. A little agony goes a long way.
I think it works. Let's get some mana back. Like this. And I want to do the Mosher, right? Mosher over there. And the Broomstick. And why not Wicked Whispers too? So this allows me to kill those minions. They could still have Arcane Explosions. Well, that wasn't an Arcane Explosion. That's something. Wriggling Horror looks nice. Neophyte Wriggling Horror, right? Neophyte over here. Wriggling Horror over here. Over here. This one trades the minion. These are going to the face. They can't do useful spell things this turn because of the Neophyte. But can they buy enough time? 7, 8, 9. 9 plus 7. Not lethal damage yet. If I tap, I go down to 5 mana, these go down to 3 mana. No, I go down to 6 mana. I go down to 6. I could also potentially get another Neophyte. That's unlikely. They don't have Frost Nova in that deck. Usually they don't. I don't want to get board locked though. In case they happen to have a freeze. So I will kill that minion. This one doesn't wake up yet, so they have to have a freeze. Okay. They're still dead. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.